Family dinners at the Andersons were always the same. Dad griped about the markets, Mom topped off everyone's wine, and my brother Kevin went on about his latest promotion at Goldman Sachs. Just another typical Sunday. Another rough quarter, Dad muttered, slicing his roast beef. Good thing we stuck with traditional investments, right, Kevin? Kevin smirked. Blue chip stocks, municipal bonds, safe, steady growth. He looked at me, unlike some people's experiments. I took a sip of water, thinking about the email I got that morning from my lawyers. Tomorrow would change everything, but tonight, I let them have their moment. I still can't believe you wasted your inheritance, Mom said, shaking her head. Your grandfather worked so hard to leave something for you all. Yes, the inheritance. Grandpa Joe had left each grandkid $100,000. Kevin invested his. Sarah bought a house. Me? I went with crypto and tech startups. Dad scoffed. You might as well have set it on fire. What they didn't know, that $100,000 was the seed for the Anderson Innovation Fund, my private firm focused on emerging tech and digital assets. While they mocked my risky choices, I'd built a powerhouse. How's your Bitcoin doing? Kevin grinned. Still worth anything? I glanced at my phone. My IPO paperwork had just been finalized. Tomorrow, Anderson Innovation Fund would go public. Initial valuation, $2 billion. It's doing fine, I said. Actually, I wanted to tell you. Dad, Kevin cut in. Did I tell you I got a corner office? Executive floor. That's my boy. Dad smiled. Now that's how you build real wealth. My phone buzzed again. CNBC requesting a post-IPO interview. Rachel, Mom leaned over. Maybe let Kevin help you with what's left of your money. He could guide you towards something more stable. I almost laughed. Kevin managed $50 million. My firm just closed a $400 million deal in quantum computing. Thanks, but I'm good with my current strategy. Kevin snorted. Last I heard, you were holed up in that tiny downtown office, messing around with computer money. That tiny office was just temporary. Our real headquarters, 50 floors in Manhattan, with Anderson Innovation Fund lit up across the skyline. Actually, I began, but Dad jumped in. Your grandfather would have been disappointed. That money was supposed to secure your future, not fuel some tech pipe dream. I thought of Grandpa Joe, who built his fortune investing in early computing when no one believed in it. The man who once told me, the future belongs to the ones who aren't afraid to bet on it. Let me show you something, I said, opening my laptop. Not another crypto pitch, Mom groaned. Kevin, explain to your sister how real investing works. Kevin launched into another lecture. I didn't hear a word. My screen glowed with pre-market data. Anderson Innovation Fund was set to debut in less than an hour, and institutional investors were already lining up. Soon, the world, and my family, would know the truth. The daughter they thought had squandered her inheritance had turned it into one of the fastest-growing investment firms in the country. But for now, I let them keep talking about real investing while I quietly pushed roast beef around my plate and waited for the opening bell. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't served over dinner. It's served on the stock market. Sunlight streamed through the windows of my temporary office. CNBC played silently on the wall-mounted screen, the ticker counting down, 30 minutes to launch. Anderson Innovation Fund, AIF, was about to go public. My phone buzzed. A text from Kevin. Family breakfast at the club. Dad wants to give you another talk about responsible investing. Before I could reply, my assistant Sarah burst in. The Wall Street Journal article just dropped. I opened the link. The headline hit like a thunderclap. Tech prodigy takes fund public. Anderson Innovation Fund expected to be year's biggest IPO. Sarah smiled as she prepped documents for the bell ceremony. Your family still doesn't know? I glanced at the growing media crowd outside our building. They're about to. My phone rang. Mom. Rachel, honey, please come to breakfast. Your father's worried about your finances. I smiled. Actually, can you all meet me somewhere else instead? I said, turn on CNBC. What? Why, Dash? Just trust me, this once. I hung up. The CFO walked in, glowing. Pre-market is wild. We may open above $200 per share. The elevator dinged. In came our legal team with the ceremonial bell. Everything was in place. Then, ping, family group chat lit up. Kevin, why is Rachel on CNBC? Mom, What is Anderson Innovation Fund? Dad, someone explain what's happening right now. I texted back. Just watch. Sarah unmuted the TV. The anchor's voice filled the room. In what's being called the investment story of the year, Anderson Innovation Fund opens trading today. Founded by 28-year-old Rachel Anderson, with just a $100,000 inheritance, the firm is now valued at over $2 billion. My phone buzzed. Kevin. I put him on speaker. Rachel, his voice trembled. Please tell me this is a different Anderson fund. Remember the computer money you laughed at? I said, it just made me a billionaire. With major holdings in cryptocurrency, quantum computing, and AI, the anchor continued. AIF has delivered over 1,000% returns in 3 years. Another call, Dad. Rachel Elizabeth Anderson, what is going on? I stayed calm. The inheritance you thought I wasted? I turned it into a $2 billion fund. Opening bell is in 15 minutes. You might want to get here fast. In the background, I heard Mom softly crying. Dad stammered, $2 billion. My CFO leaned in. Actually, closer to 3 now. The elevator doors opened. There they were, Mom, Dad, and Kevin, dressed for a casual breakfast, but visibly shaken as they took in the high-tech office, the reporters, the massive screens, and the logo overhead. Anderson Innovation Fund. Welcome, I said, voice steady. Would you like a tour before the bell? Kevin looked around, stunned. All this time, we laughed at you. You were building an empire, Dad finished, eyes wide. Mom stepped forward, voice breaking. Rachel, why didn't you tell us? I looked each of them in the eye. Would you have listened, or just reminded me again how I was wasting Grandpa's money? We're live in 5. The anchor's voice cut through the silence. With Rachel Anderson, the new face of modern investing. Sarah motioned to their seats, front rows reserved for family. The ceremony was about to begin. My family, still stunned, took their seats in the executive viewing room. I adjusted my blazer and glanced at the markets one last time. Kevin leaned in, his voice low and uneasy. Rachel, all those times I lectured you about investing. I picked up the ceremonial bell. Save it, I said, we're about to find out who actually understood the market. The cameras lit up, the countdown began. 5 years of being dismissed, mocked, underestimated, and now, the spotlight was mine. The trading floor erupted as Anderson Innovation Fund shares soared past $250 in the first hour. My family sat motionless, eyes glued to the giant screens. $2.65 a share, Kevin whispered, calculating furiously. That means, your company's worth more than the GDP of half the Caribbean. I didn't look up. Pass the coffee. Mom's hands trembled around her untouched cup. She watched CNBC replay my opening bell, my calm smile, sharp suit, confident posture. The version of me they'd never taken seriously. Your grandfather, Dad's voice cracked. He knew, didn't he? I nodded, remembering Grandpa Joe's faith in me. That inheritance, it was never random, it was a seed, and he knew exactly what I'd grow from it. But the crypto, the startups, Kevin trailed off. All thoroughly researched, strategically timed, I said. While you were celebrating 8% returns, I was closing deals with 1,000% upside. The door burst open. Sarah entered, breathless. We just crossed $275. The market can't get enough of AIF. Mom finally spoke, her voice barely a whisper. All those years we worried, tried to steer you toward safer choices. I wasn't reckless, I said softly. I was building something revolutionary. You were just too busy clinging to the past to see the future. The screens flashed with breaking news. Rachel Anderson becomes one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history. Kevin blinked. My little sister, a billionaire. Dad stood and walked slowly to the window, overlooking the roaring trading floor. I was wrong, he said. We were all wrong about you. Yes, I said. You were. Mom turned to me, teary-eyed. But why keep it secret all these years? Because I needed to build it my way, I replied. No noise, no doubt, no Kevin telling me what I should have done. Another knock, Sarah again. Bloomberg's requesting an interview, and the architects are here, with the final designs. I stood. Show them to the conference room. I'll join you in 5. Kevin's eyes narrowed. Architects? For what? Our new headquarters, I said, 50 stories, views of Central Park. That tiny office was temporary? I smiled. Very. Dad turned back, eyes glassy. Your grandfather would be proud. He was proud, I said. He believed in what I saw, before anyone else did. Another alert lit the screens. AIF crosses $300 per share. That wasted inheritance, now worth billions. Kevin gave a nervous laugh. So, about that investment advice I gave you. I picked up my tablet. Actually, I have meetings with new investors, but AIF is always hiring. Entry-level analyst roles start next month. You're welcome to apply. His smile faltered. I gathered my things. Sarah will show you out. Oh, and Mom, Dad, Sunday dinners at my place. The penthouse view's incredible. As I walked toward the glass conference room, I heard Mom whisper, "Our daughter, a billionaire." Dad corrected her gently. "No. Our daughter is a visionary." I smiled, Grandpa Joe's words echoing in my mind. Show them what you see, Rachel, show them the future. Well, Grandpa, they see it now. Because sometimes, the greatest investment isn't in stocks. It's in being the only one brave enough to believe in what comes next.